One of the most fascinating things about Palia is that we all have the same basic building blocks. We're all set up with a lot of the same items, the same buildings, the same flowers. What makes Palia special is how people use them. This person that I'm about to go tour has decades of design experience. She also happens to be a moderator for our Discord, but you know her as Miss Peach. Now, I'm not the expert here. You are. That's why when I go out to people's plots, I like to be guided around because I don't really know anything about the plot. I've never seen it before. And even if I've been there before in the past, chances are there's so much stuff that's changed that it'll be completely new. Now, if you're new to the channel, if this is your first tour that you're watching, I'm going to give y'all a little hint. I do things a little bit differently. Stick around after the tour where we're going to sit down with the creator and we're going to ask them some questions. Questions like, what is their favorite type of furniture to use in Palia? Or where do they think that they fit into Palian lore? Every single question that we ask is different every single tour, and it all kind of depends on how the tour goes. Get your thumb ready for a big old thumbs up, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a really awesome experience. Let's go check it out. All right, so I'm here with Peach Pop. Peach, how you doing?
You?
Well, you've done this before, both live and, I think, well, actually, no, this will be your first time doing a full tour, yes?
Yes, it is.
All right, then. Well, you're my tour guide. Where are we going?
Okay, so we'll come through the entrance.
Awesome. The fence that people cannot afford.
It's so expensive, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. I totally dig just the entrance already, and I love how, like, you got this nice gazebo just welcoming you.
Thank you. When I first built this, I wasn't actually intending on putting the gazebo at the front. It just turned out that it was the best position for it on the plot.
Yeah.
But I actually really love the way it turned out. It sort of makes a statement for the entry.
Yeah, it certainly does. Like, I think, you know, anything that just kind of stops you and forces you to look around, I think those are fantastic things to add anywhere. So, yeah, I'm following you. You're the expert.
Okay, so we'll go down here to the right.
Awesome. I totally dig your little pockets of flowers here too.
Thank you. I'm almost at cap. I haven't reached it, but I'm close.
Ooh.
So we'll meander down this way.
I love it.
Now this is my workshop.
My brain immediately went Peach Pop Workshop.
This really sets the tone for the rest of the build, I think.
Ooh, nice and anchored. I love how you have this couch right here in front of the fireplace and backed up against the table too. I mean, that's really nice.
Thank you. I wanted it to feel cozy in here too. Like, I didn't want it to feel just like a workshop, because the tools, the machinery, they're so big and bulky, and so not feminine. So I needed to find something that I could balance it out with. So adding all the furnishings made it feel softer and more feminine.
Yeah, I can totally see that too. I've often said that, I mean, these are just kind of a means to an end, you know, they're production machines and they're meant for building things and processing things, but you know, people can just like stick them in a place and, you know, they're hidden away from the world. But like when people take the time to design around them like you did and add some greenery and stuff like that, it makes it less boring, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
It makes it super interesting to look at. It's not just, these are my work machines. It's like, I am going to turn these ugly things into something that works with the rest of it. So help me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not practical at all when you think about it. Like, you know, machinery in a room like this with curtains and plants, like the heat in here would be insane. So yeah,
Yeah.
this room is definitely not practical.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, but it's pretty over practical, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. But yeah, I loved how this room turned out.
I do
Okay,
too.
so
I always love the greens too.
yeah, me too. Now this space up here to the back of the plot is actually still quite empty. I've just filled it with flowers and trees at this point. Really, it was future proofing for anything that I may want to add in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new landscape that S6 has just added, obviously now the entry to Bahari is now this back corner. So I have to really think about what I put here has to be intentional because I
Right.
don't want to block that.
Yeah,
So
no. It's super cool though how we've gotten these new landscapes and they've just completely changed the dynamic of a lot of the plot design and everything because we used to just sort of have a binary or probably a better word is like a very polar type of design. You got the front of the house, the back of the house, Kilima Bahari, right? But with these new
mhm.
landscapes, you're starting to think about different angles of where things are, like different placements.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's cool.
Yeah. So yes, we'll see what happens, how this space evolves. It may stay the same, it may change. So I'm not tied to it.
That's interesting.
So if we come back this way, we'll meander through onto the house.
That's one thing I'm good at is meandering, both in
It's such a
walking and,
great
and
word.
thinking. It
Yeah.
is.
Now if we come up to this point, you'll be able to see the baby.
Ooh. Oh yeah, there is the baby. And that's neat. Like I do appreciate how people have just made those things that we get in the game sacred, and even whether the baby's there or not, like it still just kind of holds a purpose.
It does.
Yeah.
And I positioned him here because I wanted to feel like they greeted me when I came home.
Oh,
And the other
yes.
babies over this side. Like it's my welcome home committee.
Yes.
Now we'll come into the entrance of my home. Welcome, welcome.
Awesome. Oh, I love the faces that you put down in the front. Nice. This is a living room built for conversation and
Thank you.
sight lines.
I really love how this turned out. I think this is definitely going to be a forever plot for me. I can't see myself ever pulling it down. I don't even know how much it can evolve. Everything, it just took so long. Like, I started this in December on the Switch and completed it probably maybe 2 months ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I could make any changes. I just love everything. Everything about
That's
it is perfect.
that is awesome. That is awesome. It's impressive to me for people to feel good and to kind of have that sort of closure for a plot that just like, okay, this is good. I feel good about this. Like you and Paley is pretty good about giving us the flexibility of getting there, to have something that you feel good about, and if you wanted to explore other things, like you can start a new plot. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
right. Exactly. Okay, so we'll wander down this way,
Awesome.
take you down the long hall.
Yes.
Now, this originally was actually a shorter hallway, but because I put the gazebo at the front, I needed to add more width. So I added the additional room.
I I really like this because we have we have the hallways as transitional spaces, but the fact that you've used rooms for that purpose, like it gives you a lot more of a grander feel to it because you have, if we turn the camera around, you can tell like there's a lot more that you can have in that transitional space just because it's wider. You can have seating and stuff that you wouldn't normally have with the hallway type
That's
of
right.
width.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And this is my apothecary.
nice.
I love this room. It was the first room I experimented with the animated wallpaper on the back.
I love those sight lines. Just every time I turn around, it's like, ooh, that's so cool. Lots of layers.
Well, that was intentional. I thought about that with every room I built. I needed to know, what the sight line. I planned that out.
That's awesome.
And then this is the bathroom. This
Oh,
space
nice.
I wanted to feel like a day spa, very bougie,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
with seating and the romantic lighting and all the candles and the flowers. It's like, who doesn't want a bathroom that feels like that? A day
E-
spa every day.
exactly. I really like how I've seen different variants of a vanity and your use of like the dragon tide for the mirror. It yeah, that's super fancy.
Thank you. I used a lot of dragon tide in here, and funnily enough, everyone asked, "What piece of furniture is that?" And it's because I've coloured it. You'll notice everything is all the same colorway. I have the same flooring throughout. I have the same color walls throughout. I wanted to keep it that solid base all the way through, and then layered everything else over the top of it.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the more fascinating tricks that people have used in their design in that they go monochromatic as a base color so much that it almost makes it a neutral color, as you know,
Hmm.
essentially. So you're adding your pops of color around those base colors.
Hmm. I find
And
it easier to work like that.
yeah.
And this is the one and only bedroom on this plot.
Oh wow.
It, it's feminine and romantic, and yeah, I love it. I imagine this would just be a space I'd spend a lot of time in.
I can tell with the Hadari portrait, you know?
I love me some Adari.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm following you.
Okay. Oh, you would have noticed that I also used the hallway for the rest space here, for the restroom. I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that the bathroom itself had lots of room. So I like using hallways for the toilet and the sink. It just,
I like that
don't
too.
know.
It's such a it's a really cool execution of it because it feels like if it would be a shared space. I mean, you could
Hmm.
sort of use that same kind of design. So if y'all are thinking this is a little off topic, but like if y'all are thinking, hey, if I want to do something for, you know, I have two kids, I want to have a space for them in the house, you could make a like a Jack and Jill type of bathroom with a hallway. That's super
Hmm.
clever.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll mosey on back this way. You'll see to the right, I also have an exit out as a back door, which was originally designed for the old map.
Well, yeah, totally.
But now it seemed to perfectly align with the new landscape. So
Yeah.
kind of it worked out really well.
It does. I love those giant logs too. I mean,
Oh,
they're awesome.
they are a lot of fun.
I kind of like how even though, you know, the landscape has changed, how you have this chest of drawers, you know, right there. It's like not that we have any kind of vehicles or anything like that, but I feel like you walk in, you can drop your keys there and go about your
Hmm.
business. Kick your feet up.
Yep. Now you'll also see that this side pretty much mirrored the layout for the hallways. And then we come to the dining room, which
Ooh.
is set for a tea party.
Yes. The good kind of Palian tea, not the tea pose that we do every now and then.
That's it.
I love this. It's super cute. Super cute with a
Thank
tea
you.
party. Got the
Thank
tiny
you.
little dessert bowls and the spoons. It's fun for me just to kind of see how people set up their tables because it's just so fancy. I feel so uncultured.
And my kitchen.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This room is probably the room that gave me the most grief on this whole build. The kitchen. I spent so much time working on this room. Then do I care to admit it's it's insane. I went
What
back and
about it was
forth on
challenging for
layouts.
you?
The layout, that to actually be able to make a space that would accommodate all the necessities that's required to cook to make it functional.
Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even put in the second oven because it was just too much. So it's like, no, I'm going to leave that out. I don't necessarily need it in this one. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was umming and ahhing originally about room size, and then there was just so many things, so many things.
Singularity 6, I'm going to ask you right now. Let us color the kitchen items in the different colorways, please and thank you.
Oh yes, that would be perfect.
It would. It would. This is awesome. Awesome design.
Thank you. And this flows through where the sink is, extra additional counter space, and into my walk-in pantry.
Nice. So it's really cool for me having done a tour of this on stream, and I'll link that in the description. Um, Watching homes like this just evolve over time with the different updates and stuff that we get, and just you as a designer, just iterating and adding things on and tweaking things. And I think that's like, I while I don't remember every plot like to that kind of granular detail, I do pick up a couple of notes here and there and remember some things. Like there's some things that feel familiar and there's some things that are completely novel, and it's just kind of cool just to kind of like pick up. It's like, oh, I remember this, and you had a couple things like moved around, so it's nice. It's nice to be able to see that from my perspective.
It's definitely evolved from
Yeah,
that first speed tour back. I think it was February earlier this year
I
was the first
know.
time. I know, it's crazy. It's gone so quickly.
Yes,
Okay,
it
so then we
has.
come out this way to my garden.
Oh, and I like with the new layout, we have this nice, like, you come right up to this point here
Oh,
too.
I know. It was perfection. It almost lined up with the back door perfectly. And so I actually repositioned. I moved the garden because originally the garden was facing the direction of the log, but I changed it and now it's this way
Awesome.
just so I could accommodate the space.
I absolutely adore the growable furniture. I think it's super cute.
Oh, it's so cute. I need more of it.
Yeah. It's cool that they have it set up the way that they do. Like, and I'm sure that there's going to be plenty more fun things that they're going to add eventually. So tell me about this space. Is this kind of like a prep station, or is this where you grind in your herbs, or?
I designed this really, I think it was just a filler. It was originally started off as a filler space, but it is meant to be somewhere where I would, yeah, just sort of grab some herbs, maybe clean them up, things like that.
Nice.
But also we'll go to next, the greenhouse is also for that purpose. So, um, Yeah, I just wanted something pretty at the end, really, as a focal point for sightlines. I didn't really think about it too much.
You
Like we were
know,
talking about earlier, it was just things that just seemed right at the time. So,
yeah. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just like, you know what? Doesn't have to have pretty. I just want it to be pretty. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to look down there and it just be empty. It needs to be something
hmm.
nice to look at. So that is cool.
Now, welcome to my greenhouse.
Nice. But wait a minute, Peach. Aren't the other houses greenhouses too?
Ah, oh,
This is
funny.
cool. I couldn't help it. I like how you have your storage interspersed throughout. Like you can grab things easily, even if you are like it's functional and it has a it's functional and it works with the design too.
hmm.
Just kind of how you have like a handy storage, as you're sitting down doing stuff, I can see that you would have the ability to just kind of access things that you wanted to access. But also, I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure it helped like decorate too if you needed to pull some things out.
And yeah, multifunctional.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that this space, obviously, where I do all my seeds, and it was just set to fit perfectly. I needed to be able to empty my pockets so I don't have to run, out of here with pockets full of seeds.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
just, yeah. And that
It's
brings us back to the center.
awesome. I love this is another fun thing too, is just you have your centerpiece, like your gazebo at the beginning, but the fact that you have these fountains here too, that also just force you to walk around and look at the fountain as you're walking around.
Hmm.
That's a
Hmm.
nice, really nice touch.
Well, I wanted it to feel elegant and whimsical out here too. Like I think we've discussed previously that my whole build was centered around the inspiration I got from the mayor's house. When I first started the game and I walked out to the backyard, to the
Hmm.
courtyard, and I saw the gazebo and just the vibe that was giving, I knew that's what I wanted to create here. And it kind of just stemmed from that, really.
Excellent.
So the waterfalls and just the tiling, the flowers, the everything being symmetrical.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
time it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Q&A time. Let's get the deets. What I've been doing like recently is the beginning of Q&A. I like to just kind of go over all the wonderful things that I really enjoy just walking around and seeing. And I've already called out a few of them. Just how you command the space. You walk in, you have a statement right at the beginning, your gazebo, and then around that, on both of the wings on the outside, you have these fountains that force you to meander around them and just appreciate them, as opposed to just kind of having something that's off to the side that could potentially be, run past. Like you're forcing that sort of pause. And I think that is what makes some of the higher tiered like designs in Palia like stand out. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have all of the different flowers that you've just kind of spread out all over the place, different color patterns, and let's not forget how you've used a lot of the different colors inside your house. Like your base color is green, and you've added little pops of color around that. So you have completely like reshaped this. And even if I'm talking you, the people that are on the other end of the screen, like if you went back and you looked at the speed tour, you can tell that this has changed quite a bit. It has evolved over time.
It has, yes.
Yeah. So,
It's a labor of love.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So my first question for you is, when you are placing down flowers,
Hmm.
what was your thought process for what specific flowers to choose? And the reason why I asked
Um,
this, just to kind of add some context here. Peach is a designer. She said she has quite a bit of experience behind it. So I like to kind of dig into a little bit of the science behind the colors, so to speak.
That's right. For those who don't know, I am actually a graphic designer, and I have been so for almost 18 years now. And so a lot of this build it stemmed from color as well. And when it comes to the flowers, it was really just an extension of what was happening inside. So I took the plants and the flowers that pretty much had the same color palette, with obviously green being the base. There was the pink, the pops of lavender, and it just and the yellow in particular. And it just built from there. That was nothing more than that, really. It was just based on color.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So we were talking a little bit before, and you were saying, that your house is starting to kind of edge into eclectic-core a little bit. And you had coined the phrase like elegant core. And I totally think that, what you're talking about, like a eclectic core, really fits, because it's not cluttered at all. There are pockets of things that are full, but they're not to the point of like, you got to tell me where to walk, right? So we're totally not there. I think eclectic core is very accurate, because you are able to just ebb and flow into different things. It's like you have some little pockets of areas that have a lot of layers to them, but it's not like overflowing. And just as you can see, like the other way, if you can see, like right above my head, you have these sight lines. So like there's lots of elements of clean core too. And just it's very well balanced. So I think you
Thank
totally
you.
have made it, you've made it yours. And that's
Yep.
the most important thing.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, credit where credit is due. Like you are able to just exercise any of those, and I think that's just that's a product of your education. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I really wanted this space also to be something different that I hadn't seen anywhere else. Like, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of other amazing creators and their incredible builds. And I didn't really want to be influenced by what I'd seen too much. I still really wanted, to put my own stamp on it. And this pretty much also stemmed from that. It was something that I hadn't seen before. So, yeah, I'm like I said, I love this space. I love this build. It's my forever build. I can't see myself removing this at all. So,
And I want to applaud that, because we have we have inspiration everywhere, and it is very, very difficult. I can only imagine, just that's an extra layer of challenge to kind of like block out all of this fire hose of information that flies at us on a daily basis, especially like in Palia, and how fluid it is to go and see other people's plots, and appreciate, but also kind of ignore, like so that way you don't have those impressions like in your head, just to create a design that's all your own. I mean, that's huge props too. 'Cause,
thank you.
oof, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a lot of work.
yeah, totally. I am too far gone, Peach. I don't think I can. I don't think I can and do that with like a influentless.
Yeah,
uh
it's not an easy thing to do.
no, I imagine that. So you told that like this particular space, you feel good about this space, right? So if you were to have another plot, what kind of a project would you be working on?
Oh, good question. I actually have a second plot that I'm working on, and it is a little bit of lore behind that actually.
Nice.
Peach is when she came into the world of Palia, like everyone else, she started off exploring, getting to know people, creating relationships, building a wonderful home for herself.
Mhm.
And over time, she started dabbling with and this home is where Peach likes to entertain the likes of the mayor and his wife. But the second plot is where Peach dabbles in the things that aren't meant to be spoken about in public. So
Oh
that
my
plot
word.
is,
I am
yeah, that
clutching my
plot's a little.
pearls.
That plot's a little darker. There's some things going on in that plot, so I'm excited to share that with everyone once it's ready.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I appreciate that too. That, you know, people who I've toured before, like they have like a main plot, like this is like your space and this is like where you
Mhm.
put your signature on it. And then once you feel good about this, like you are able to start to explore other areas or other design styles or other stories and you know, for all intents and purposes, like have fun with it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, Peach, thank you so much for having me out. I know it's been wild because I'm sure you've had to wait for a while,
Just a couple of months,
just a couple of months. And it just
give or
I'm
take.
I'm time blind, so I can't even really fathom 5 minutes, let alone like a few months, and then all the
Oh,
updates that
yeah.
we've had in Palia.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
first and foremost, thank you for your patience and
Oh, no. Like I said, like I understand how busy you are, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to even do this. What you do for Palia and the creators out there is amazing. So, we applaud you. Thank you so much.
oh shucks, Peach, don't you start with me. All right, y'all. If y'all had fun with this, leave a little comment. Let me know what you enjoyed the most, and give this video a big old thumbs up. I will see you all for the next one. As usual, y'all can catch Peach in our Discord. Link will be in the description. And I will see you all for the next one. Until next time, bye bye.
Bye.